Abortion, good or bad?
Let's go through both sides of this argument. First, we'll go through the cons of abortion.
For the first time in the history of our country, they are now focused on not doing what has been done in the Hyde Amendment for 30 years, that is, making sure there are no government, taxpayer dollars spent in doing abortions. Now they've moved beyond that into private funding, and it's wrong, and we're not going to go there.
The first con of abortion is that it takes away the life of an innocent child. Here's an example of a con of abortion. In the instance of sexual assault or incest, proper medical care can ensure that a woman will not get pregnant.
When Indiana House District 81 Representative Martin Carbo was asked what he thought of abortion, he responded with this. So our first question is, what is your stance on abortion?
I believe abortion is the intentional killing of a child and doesn't have a part of any civilized society.
Okay. So if abortion was illegal, what would you say about cases of sexual assault or incest?
I think you have to look at it from the perspective of the child. The child is still a human being, had no control on the way it was conceived. What I would hope is that we would be able to provide as much assistance and care for the mother who went through a violent act, an act that she should never have to go through. Encourage her to either keep the child or provide that child up to an adoption agency for adoption services.
Okay. What are some ways that you could stop or limit abortions?
Well, there are a lot of ways to stop and limit abortions. Education is a big one. There's a lot of science that backs up the truth that conception is when the human body, the human nature of us is formed, and our DNA is locked in, and we grow from that point. So educating people on the realities of the what's called a fetus is a human being inside the mother's womb. Also regulations. While abortion is legal, we need to make sure that we have safe facilities, lots of notification requirements, education requirements for mothers, so that they understand what the ramifications are for those procedures. There's lots of examples of women who have gone through abortions, didn't really understand what was going on there, didn't understand the humanity that was inside them at the time, and have lived a life full of regret because of those decisions. Had they been notified, had they been able to have a pamphlet that shows the development of a human being in the mother's womb, perhaps they would have avoided that mental anguish they've gone through the rest of their lives.
Abortion punishes the child who has committed no crime at all. So why does the child get put down for doing nothing at all? Abortion also frequently causes psychological pain and stress on the female.
Good afternoon, pro-lifers. I am Anne Marie Burkle from the great state of New York, and let me say hello to all my fellow New Yorkers out there. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your willingness to stand here every year and fight for the right to life. You are the heroes. We need you. And to all of the young people in the audience, thank you for being strong and for being willing to stand up to protect all life.
There are over 1.1 million abortions each year in the United States. Nearly 1/4 of pregnancies end in abortion.
Nearly 50% of women seeking abortion have had at least one prior abortion.
Now let's talk about the pro side of abortion.
Well, the woman has the choice to have an abortion.
The ability of a woman to have control of her body is critical to her civil rights.
In the case of sexual assault, abortion may be the only choice for a young girl.
Nearly all abortions take place in the first trimester, when a fetus cannot exist independent without the mother.
Now, how many abortions take place in the first trimester? 88% of abortions do.
Abortion is a key role in keeping America from overpopulating.
So, candidates, when addressing the topic of abortion, what do you think of abortion?
And what about in cases of sexual assault? or incest.